Ajay Kumar Singh, uh, our host, Professor Srivastava, Dr. Subhash, other colleagues, and participants. Firstly, I would like to thank Professor Srivastava for inviting me. I'm delighted to be part of this panel and looking forward to listening to everyone. My core area of interest is digital and social media, and so I'm going to focus my talk on how media and technology is changing our lives and what is the responsibility of media and technology sector. Uh, can I request everyone to please mute your mic because there's a disturbance in the audio. Thank you. So, as we understand, the role of media has been to inform, educate, entertainment society. But with advent of social media, our media consumption, our media habits, and the characteristics of media have changed. It has given us access to a lot of information, but at the same time, have control over what we consume and how we consume. With issues like fake news, negative stereotypes, and polarization, they are really affecting fabric of our society. When Arab Spring happened, we were really excited about it, how digital media will change democratic societies around the world. And this was around early 2011. And at the very same time, we had a conference at MIT Jaipur on digital media. That was the very first conference. And we were very excited that as a media scholar, it's very important to understand that how a new medium is evolving and how it is going to affect our lives. So at that point of time, we were really excited that it will really help our societies. But what has happened in the last 15, 20 years, if you look at digital media, these platforms like these all platforms like Google or Facebook, they have turned into platforms of making money and way of controlling our lives. We need to understand that how our information or life is controlled by these social and digital media platforms and the filters they use and the algorithm they used, how they control every piece of information that we have. Today, what we consume is a algorithmically mediated media, which basically means that whatever information we consume through digital media or digital media sites or social media sites is mediated through algorithms. The like, share, retweet buttons have so much power and they are affecting the content on our pages, on our platforms. Especially Facebook, Google, WhatsApp, they're becoming a source of news, the only source of news for a lot of people, especially the younger people or the people who are plus 60 or older people. So whatever they look at on their Google or WhatsApp messages or Facebook, they tend to believe that. We must understand the kind of information we see is filtered, and what we see is just one part of the story. We don't know what piece of picture we are missing. These algorithms are designed to create biases, and anything that confirms our biases will start coming on our pages. And we will start looking at information from one perspective only. So, if a person is a left wing person, he will not look at or he will not see any content related with uh, the other side or the right wing or maybe the alternative view, and which will strong its bias towards the other side, especially in case of fake news. It has been proved scientifically, psychologically, it has been proved that our mind has a confirmation bias, that anything that support our existing ideology will be easily accepted. Anything, if you look at piece of information that is relevant to our thinking or our value system, our brain will act uh, our brain will process that information very easily, or that's why that fake news or all this information, when we look at that, we tend to not use our rational side of the brain. We tend to use our emotional side of the brain. And there have been study at Stanford where they have scanned the brains of people. They've done a control group study, and we have seen that these 30 people, they've looked at the sample and they've exposed them to different fake news which is relevant to their biases. And then when they saw the news, there was a release of dopamine in the brain, and which made them feel happy about consuming that information, which basically means that physiologically and psychologically we tend to look at a piece of information which is more suited to our existing belief system. So what Google, Twitter, or Facebook, or even WhatsApp, what they're doing around the world is slowly and steadily people are able to understand, and different governments, be in US or in India now, they are trying to understand what exactly they're doing. But if you go back a few years back, if you remember the testimony given by Mark Zuckerberg or Sundar Pichai in the US Congress, most of the lawmakers or the committee members were not sure what they were talking, because these are very smart people and they have created their empires based on these algorithms or the model of consumer engagement with the content. And through this content, through this algorithm, they have created monopoly, but eventually law is catching on to them, and they have been fined in some countries, be it in Germany or Australia. So Google have been fined in different countries, and likewise Facebook have been given a lot of fine for their model of business. So, but from a media standpoint or a advertising standpoint, if you look at their model, it's a very simple model. Just as any other advertising model, more time we spend on their content on the platforms, the likelihood of we looking at ads on their platform will be more, and hence they will earn more money. So they need to have content which is relevant to us, which is likable to us, and they make sure that we hook up to that content as per our biases. And most of this best part is most of this content is user generated. So जो भी content, whatever content that you're looking at is user generated, and they're earning a lot of billions of dollars through that content. So from a basic advertising, or जो advertising का basic premise होता है that people need to look at or be present during the telecast of a event or any information, and it is applied here as well. You know, the ads that we see, if we're hooked on to a content, we will likely to see those ads, and through those ads they will earn money. It's a very simple basic premise of any advertising. As you know that nowadays every traditional media platform, be it newspapers, television, or even radio, they have their digital presence, and most of them at their website or social media pages, they're also using clickbaits, and sometimes they also use fake stories, or which is another form of yellow journalism that we used to study during traditional media. But again, if you look at the content, the idea here is to make people read that content, चाहे वो किसी भी newspaper का website हो या television का website हो, they add on those clickbaits to make sure that we are attached to that content. But as a person, as a consumer, if you want to change the way we consume media, first of all, we need to accept that we have a bias. And once we understand what is our bias, we tend to look at the alternative view. We tend to search for alternative view. We make an effort that we search for an alternative view so that we are able to see both sides of the story, and we can look at information from an objective standpoint. We should also use multiple sources of information. Also, when you get any video, any content, even at YouTube, if you see any video, make sure you look at what is the source of that information. As far as these media tech companies are concerned, the best way would be that they understand the impact they are creating on the lives of people, and they self-regulate themselves, and they make sure that if some way possibly they can remove those biases, and they can come up with the algorithm, and they can remove those bots, and if they remove those biases from the algorithm, and it can be win-win for everybody. But if that doesn't happen, I'm sure different governments at their level, they're trying to regulate themselves. If you look at the case of India, and we have seen what has happened with Twitter and WhatsApp in the last few days, I'm sure governments across the world are facing the similar situation, and these media giants or technology giants must understand the implication they can have on the lives of people. From media and society perspective and the responsibility of media per se, I think all these media tech companies or media platforms need to be objective in their coverage and make sure that people get right kind of information. Once again, thanks for the opportunity. I'm giving this context. I don't know what other people will be touching upon, but this is my understanding of media and its responsibility, not corporate social responsibility per se, but it's media and responsibility. And especially in the age of technology, when everything is digitalized and every consumption is on your cell phone, on your laptop, on your iPad, I think it's very relevant that we look at how these media technology or social media are controlled and how they curate their content. So thanks again for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to hear the views of other people. Thank you. Thank you.